Texas is not only known for its vast ranches, endless plains, and unique cowboy culture, but it's also a place shrouded in countless unsolved mysteries. From ghost towns, mysterious creatures lurking in deep forests, to eerie supernatural phenomena that send chills down your spine, Texas seems to be hiding a dark, spine-chilling side. Today, we're diving into the unbelievable and haunting stories that science still can't explain and that only leave room for wild theories. Get ready, because what you're about to hear might make you think twice before visiting Texas alone. The first story. Magnolia Mansion in Angleton, Texas. Magnolia Mansion in Angleton, Texas, is a place where history and the supernatural intertwine, creating a chilling atmosphere that has captivated many. Over the years, countless tales have been shared about the ghostly apparitions that haunt this grand estate. Built in the 1800s, Magnolia Mansion was once a symbol of wealth and prestige, housing generations of prominent families. However, its dark and tragic past has left an indelible mark, one that lingers in the form of restless spirits. The history of Magnolia Mansion. The mansion was originally constructed during a time of great prosperity in Texas, a period when families of means sought to establish themselves as pillars of the community. The mansion's grandiose architecture and luxurious interiors made it a prime residence for wealthy plantation owners. However, this grandeur was not enough to stave off the tragedies that would soon unfold within its walls. One of the most well-known stories from Magnolia Mansion's history involves the mysterious death of a young girl named Sarah. Sarah was the daughter of one of the families who lived in the mansion during the late 1800s. She was known to be a bright and cheerful child, but her life was tragically cut short when she fell ill and succumbed to her sickness at a tender age. It is said that her untimely death left an emotional scar on the mansion, one that has never healed. The ghost of Sarah. Sarah's spirit is said to be one of the most active ghosts in the mansion. Visitors and staff alike have reported seeing her apparition, often appearing as a little girl in a white dress, standing by a window or playing in the hallways. Her presence is not malevolent, but rather sorrowful, as if she is still waiting for something or someone. One particularly chilling account comes from a couple who visited Magnolia Mansion during a ghost tour. As they walked through the mansion's second floor, they noticed a small figure standing near a doorway. At first, they assumed it was a lost child from the tour, but as they approached, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a cold breeze. They later learned that many visitors had seen the same figure, believed to be the ghost of Sarah. Sarah's room, where she reportedly died, remains one of the most haunted areas in the mansion. Many guests who have stayed in this room claim to have experienced strange occurrences, items moving on their own, the sound of soft giggles, and even the feeling of a cold hand brushing against their skin in the middle of the night. It is as if Sarah's spirit is still tied to the room, unable to move on from the place where she spent her final days. Other ghostly residents. Sarah is not the only spirit said to haunt Magnolia Mansion. Over the years, the estate has been home to numerous families, many of whom experienced their own tragedies. These events have contributed to the mansion's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Texas. One of the most famous ghostly residents of Magnolia Mansion is a woman in a long, flowing dress. This apparition has been seen wandering the halls late at night, her face obscured by shadows. Some believe she is the spirit of a woman who died in childbirth, her soul forever searching for the child she never got to hold. Others think she might be a former mistress of the house, whose untimely death left her spirit restless. In addition to the woman in the long dress, there are reports of ghostly children playing in the courtyard and running through the halls. Some visitors have even claimed to hear the faint sound of children laughing or the patter of small footsteps, even when no one else is around. These ghostly children are thought to be the spirits of those who died in or near the mansion, their innocence and playfulness preserved in the afterlife. A night of terror. One particularly terrifying experience occurred during a paranormal investigation at Magnolia Mansion. A team of ghost hunters, equipped with cameras and recording devices, spent the night in the mansion, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. Throughout the night, they experienced a series of unexplained events, doors slamming shut, cold spots appearing out of nowhere, and disembodied voices echoing through the halls. The most chilling moment came when one of the investigators was alone in Sarah's room. As she sat quietly, attempting to communicate with any spirits present, she suddenly felt an overwhelming sense of sadness. Moments later, she saw a small shadowy figure standing by the window. The figure appeared to be looking out, just as Sarah was said to have done in life. Before the investigator could react, the figure turned and looked directly at her, its eyes filled with sorrow. The investigator described the experience as one of the most emotionally intense encounters she had ever had. The legend continues. Magnolia Mansion has become a popular destination for ghost hunters, paranormal enthusiasts, and those simply curious about its haunted history. Tours of the mansion are offered regularly, allowing visitors to explore the rooms and halls where so many ghostly sightings have been reported. Many who visit are drawn to Sarah's room, hoping to catch a glimpse of the young girl's spirit or experience some of the strange phenomena that have been reported there. Despite the mansion's dark reputation, some visitors have left with a sense of peace, believing that the spirits residing there are not malicious, but rather lost souls seeking comfort and closure. Others, however, have been too frightened to stay the night, convinced that the mansion is home to something far more sinister. The mystery remains. To this day, the mysteries of Magnolia Mansion remain unsolved. The spirits that haunt its halls continue to captivate and terrify those who dare to visit. Whether it's the ghostly figure of Sarah standing by the window, the sound of children's laughter in the empty halls, or the presence of the woman in the long dress, there is no denying that Magnolia Mansion is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. For those brave enough to explore its haunted history, Magnolia Mansion offers a glimpse into a world where the living and the dead coexist, and where the line between the two is often blurred. The stories of the spirits that reside there serve as a reminder that, even in death, some souls are never truly at rest. Next we start the second story. The woman in the white dress at Austin State Hospital. Austin State Hospital, the oldest mental institution in Texas, has witnessed countless stories of tragedy and despair since its opening in 1861. Over the years, thousands of patients have been admitted, many spending their final days within the hospital walls. It is believed that the souls of these suffering individuals still linger, and those brave enough to enter the oldest building of the hospital often report strange encounters. The tragic early days. In the early 1900s, the woman in the white dress was admitted to the hospital after a series of traumatic events led to her mental collapse. She was once a beautiful and intelligent woman, but unforeseen calamities drove her into a state of mental instability. Unable to bear the pain and loss any longer, she ended her life by hanging herself in one of the hospital's secluded rooms. This tragic death left a deep mark on everyone, and since then, her spirit is believed to be trapped, forever wandering the hallways of the hospital. Appearance and manifestation. Witnesses describe the woman in the white dress as a tall, slender figure dressed in a long white gown, with her face partially obscured by a flowing veil. She is often seen at the old gate of the hospital, where the paint peels off the walls and the air is heavy with the stench of decay. Her appearance is usually preceded by a chilling cold that envelops the area, and those who encounter her report feelings of fear and horror. Tom's fateful encounter. Tom, a night security guard at the hospital, had heard the stories about the woman in the white dress but never believed them, thinking they were merely urban legends meant to scare new staff members. However, one fateful night, everything changed as Tom was on duty near the old gate. The lights began to flicker, casting strange shadows on the walls. Tom dismissed it as a power issue and continued his patrol. But as he approached a dark hallway, he saw her, a woman in a white dress standing at the end of the corridor. Her back turned to him. Thinking she was a lost visitor, Tom called out to her, but she did not respond. Cautiously, he moved closer, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. As he took a few steps forward, the woman slowly turned to face him. What he saw sent chills down his spine. Her face, partially hidden beneath the veil, was twisted in agony, with hollow, lifeless eyes. Before Tom could react, the woman let out a mournful scream and began gliding towards him. Paralyzed by fear, Tom could only watch as the woman in the white dress floated past him, her icy breath brushing against his skin. She drifted further down the hallway, vanishing into thin air, leaving behind a heavy cold. Aftermath of the encounter. Tom immediately reported the encounter. but his superiors dismissed it as a figment of his imagination. However, Tom knew what he had seen. He began to feel that something was wrong every time he worked a night shift. From strange noises to the sensation of being watched. Every time he returned to the old gate, Tom felt the presence of the woman in the white dress, even though he couldn't see her clearly. Tom's experiences quickly spread among the staff, causing many to start believing in the ghost stories surrounding the hospital. Some employees even reported sensing her presence in the empty corridors or hearing footsteps and mournful screams echoing through the night. Other eerie stories. Beyond Tom's story, there are numerous other ghostly tales related to the woman in the white dress at the hospital. Some patients and staff have reported seeing her standing silently at the end of the hallway, her hollow eyes staring straight at them without any expression. Others have recounted hearing eerie laughter and mournful screams emanating from patient rooms, even when no one was there. Visitors touring the hospital have also experienced strange phenomena. They describe feeling as though someone is watching them as they walk around the grounds or sensing a cold draft pass through their bodies when standing near the hospital's older sections. Photographs taken at the hospital frequently capture faint ghostly apparitions, creating a mysterious and enigmatic atmosphere. Exploring reality and legend. Austin State Hospital is not just a medical facility but also a part of local history and legend. The ghost stories of the woman in the white dress contribute to creating a mysterious environment, attracting both believers in the supernatural and curious individuals eager to explore. Paranormal tours are regularly organized, where visitors can tour the hospital's historic areas and hear ghostly tales from those who have experienced them firsthand. Tour guides recount the tragic events and strange experiences that the hospital has witnessed, creating a dramatic and eerie atmosphere. Conclusion: a terrifying and mysterious legacy. The woman in the white dress at Austin State Hospital is not only a ghost story but also a part of the institution's tragic and sorrowful history. Her story serves as a reminder of the unspeakable pain endured and the souls that have yet to find peace. The hospital continues to operate, but the presence of spirits like the woman in the white dress has created a mysterious and frightening atmosphere, making it not just a place of healing but also a repository of deep secrets. For those who dare to enter Austin State Hospital, they come not only to learn about medical history but also to confront supernatural phenomena. The eerie experiences within the hospital have become an integral part of Texas legends, leaving people both curious and fearful when they think about the place. The story of the woman in the white dress is not just a ghostly legend but also a part of the local psyche and culture. It is etched into the hearts of those who hear it, prompting them to question the inexplicable and seek the truth behind the lingering spirits in the hallways of Austin State Hospital. A reminder of the past. This story goes beyond recounting supernatural experiences. It serves as a reminder of what has happened in the past and its impact on the present. The woman in the white dress symbolizes suffering and loss, and her spirit continues to evoke strong emotions in those who dare to listen and believe in ghostly tales. Austin State Hospital, with its rich history and ghostly stories, remains a noteworthy destination for those interested in supernatural phenomena and medical history. The blend of reality and legend creates a mysterious space, making it a topic that continuously attracts attention and curiosity from many. Continue to the third story. The Cursed Church of Terlingua. The small ghost town of Terlingua, Texas, located near the Mexican border, is renowned for its desolate beauty, eerie atmosphere, and haunted history. One of the most spine-chilling tales from this ghost town revolves around the infamous St. Agnes Church, which stands as a grim reminder of its dark past. The story of St. Agnes Church. The St. Agnes Church, also known as Chizo's Mission, was built in 1914 during the boom of the mining industry. This remote church was a beacon of hope and faith for the miners and their families. As the town of Terlingua flourished with over 2,000 inhabitants, the church became a focal point for baptisms, weddings, and funerals, providing spiritual support to a community enduring the harsh conditions of the Chihuahuan Desert. But the tranquility of St. Agnes Church was shattered by a horrific event. According to local legends, a priest serving the church was accused of a terrible crime. When the villagers found out, a furious mob gathered and dragged the priest out of his refuge. Desperate, he climbed up to the church's bell tower, hoping to escape the wrath of the crowd. But there was no escape. They hanged him from the church's rafters, leaving his lifeless body swaying in the wind. It is said that his spirit was never able to find peace and continues to haunt the grounds of St. Agnes, seeking vengeance for his unjust death. Supernatural encounters and paranormal activity. Visitors to the cursed church often report feeling a heavy, oppressive atmosphere as soon as they step inside. Strange occurrences are frequently experienced, including cold drafts of air sweeping through the building, disembodied whispers in foreign tongues, and the sound of chains rattling from the bell tower. But the most terrifying sightings involve the ghostly figure of a man hanging from the rafters, his eyes glowing a sinister red as he watches over the intruders. One of the most frightening experiences was shared by a group of friends who decided to explore the church at night. As soon as they entered, they felt an overwhelming sense of dread. The air was thick with the smell of dampness, and the silence was suffocating. As they moved through the rows of pews, they heard a chilling creak above them. Looking up, they saw the dark silhouette of a man hanging from the ceiling. Paralyzed by fear, they watched as the shadowy figure began to swing slowly, then moved toward them. In a blind panic, the group ran out of the church, and when they looked back, they saw the figure standing at the entrance, glaring at them with burning eyes. The ghost town of Terlingua today. Today, Terlingua is a well-known ghost town, drawing thousands of visitors each year who are eager to experience its haunting charm. The ruins of St. Agnes Church stand as a chilling reminder of its past, and the locals still speak in hushed tones about the cursed church. The ghost town hosts events like the annual Chili Cook-Off, which brings a surge of life back to the otherwise desolate place. Yet, even during the festivities, some claim to have seen ghostly apparitions wandering the area and have felt an unseen presence watching from the shadows. For those who dare to visit St. Agnes Church, be warned, the malevolent spirit of the priest is said to still roam its crumbling walls. Bound forever to the place of his tragic death, he waits in the darkness, watching, and if you're unlucky enough, you might just feel his cold, vengeful gaze as you walk through the doors of this cursed church. If you're interested in learning more about the ghostly history of Terlingua and other haunted sites, check out the Ghosts of Terlingua and Haunted Places in Texas for a deeper dive into the legends and lore that shroud this ghost town. Continue to Story 4. The Haunted Jail of Caldwell County. Caldwell County Jail, located in Lockhart, Texas, is an imposing red brick building with a dark history, having housed and executed numerous prisoners throughout the 19th century, with many inmates having died within its walls. This jail has become one of the most notorious supernatural hotspots in the state, believed to be home to countless restless spirits. Visitors to Caldwell Jail have reported chilling experiences, ranging from moans echoing from empty cells to the unsettling feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Some even claim to have seen shadowy figures moving between the bars, their eyes glowing eerily in the dark. A night of investigation. One night, a group of paranormal investigators decided to stay overnight in the jail to capture evidence of the supernatural. As they entered the old execution chamber, the atmosphere became heavy and suffocatingly silent. Suddenly, they heard footsteps approaching from a distance, growing louder and closer. One investigator shone a flashlight down the hallway and was startled to see a dark figure standing right in front of him, its eyes bright with an unseen rage. The group froze in place as the dark figure slowly advanced toward them, reaching out toward the iron bars as if attempting to escape its cell. In a panic, they turned and fled, but the shadow seemed to follow, appearing in their peripheral vision every time they dared to glance back. When they finally escaped the jail and reached their vehicle, they could still hear footsteps trailing behind them, as if the ghost was pursuing them through the night. Caldwell County Jail remains a haunting testament to a dark past filled with sorrow and unrested spirits, ever ready to welcome curious souls into its chilling confines. The spirits that linger. The stories surrounding Caldwell County Jail have made it a popular destination for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. Many visitors come not only to learn about its history but also to seek out the rumored spirits that reside within. Reports of strange sounds, cold drafts, and ghostly apparitions continue to intrigue and terrify those who dare to enter. Local lore suggests that those who visit should be respectful, as the spirits may still be bound to the place where they met their tragic fates. Some believe that by acknowledging these lost souls, visitors can experience a connection to the past, while others simply hope to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. Conclusion: a chilling legacy. Caldwell County Jail stands as a stark reminder of the darker chapters in the history of justice and punishment. With its combination of eerie tales and a rich history, it draws in both skeptics and believers alike, whether you are a ghost hunter or just curious about the unknown. A visit to this haunted jail is sure to leave a lasting impression. Should you decide to explore Caldwell County Jail, be prepared for more than just a historical tour. You may encounter the lingering spirits of its tragic past. Continue to the fifth story. The ghosts of the Excelsior Hotel. The Excelsior Hotel, located in Jefferson, Texas, is a historic hotel known for its Victorian architecture and is one of the oldest hotels in the state. With a history spanning over a century, it has welcomed countless famous guests, but some of them seem to have never left. The Excelsior is believed to be haunted by several spirits, each carrying their own sad story. Strange encounters. Staff and guests at the hotel have shared numerous encounters with ghosts, from a man in a long coat standing silently in the corner of the hallway to a woman in a black dress wandering through the guest rooms at midnight. However, the most famous spirit is that of a young boy who died in a carriage accident right outside the hotel. It is said that the boy still lingers in the halls, playing with guests he has never met. One night, a guest staying in room 215 was awakened in the middle of the night by a soft tapping on the headboard. Thinking it was just the wind or the buildings creaking, he tried to ignore it and go back to sleep. But the tapping came again, this time clearer and more persistent. He turned on the light but saw no one in the room. Just as he turned off the light, a giggle echoed from the corner of the room. He looked back and saw a small boy standing there, smiling with a mischievous glint in his eyes. Before he could say anything, the boy's ghost zipped across the room and vanished through the wall, leaving a cold breeze in its wake. The next morning, he checked out of the hotel, still trembling from what he had experienced. The tale of the mischievous boy. The story of the mischievous boy has become one of the most famous legends associated with the Excelsior Hotel. Although the hotel continues to operate, all who visit are warned to be cautious of the nighttime knocks on the door, as they may not be from a normal guest. Hotel staff often remind each other about the presence of the boy, and many guests have reported similar eerie encounters. The Excelsior not only attracts history lovers but also those fascinated by the supernatural. Many visitors share that they feel an unexpected chill when walking through the hallways or hear faint whispers that seem to come from nowhere. Some have even claimed to see the boy's figure in photographs taken inside the hotel. A haunting experience. The Excelsior Hotel has become a popular destination for those interested in exploring paranormal phenomena. Its historic atmosphere combined with ghost stories has drawn many visitors from across the country. Some people visit not just for the history but to experience the thrill of the unknown. While some skeptics come hoping to debunk the ghost stories, they often leave with inexplicable experiences of their own. Guests who have spent the night frequently recount feelings of being watched or hearing sounds that cannot be explained. Many who have experienced these supernatural occurrences leave with a sense of unease, vowing never to return. Conclusion. A place of mystery. The Excelsior Hotel is not merely a place to stay, it is a repository of stories, a dwelling for souls, and a crossroads of the past. Those who dare to visit should be prepared for encounters with the unknown. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the Excelsior offers a unique experience that blends history with the mysterious, making it a must-visit for anyone intrigued by the supernatural. Should you decide to book a room at the Excelsior, you might want to bring along some ghost hunting equipment or at least a reliable friend to share the experience with you. You never know what you might encounter during your stay in this haunted hotel. Continue to the sixth story. The Curse of the Old Presidio County Courthouse. In the heart of Marfa, Texas, stands the old Presidio County Courthouse, a magnificent structure built in the late 19th century. With its towering spire, grand arched windows, and stoic presence, the courthouse was once a symbol of law and order in the wild and untamed West Texas. Yet, Beneath its regal exterior lies a history stained with blood and shrouded in dark secrets. A place haunted by a legacy of murder, betrayal, and lingering spirits. For years, the old courthouse served as the center of justice for the region, its halls echoing with the voices of those seeking justice, and the heavy gavel of judges handing down sentences. But over time, the building developed a reputation for something far more sinister. Stories began to emerge of strange occurrences, whispers in the dark, and shadowy figures roaming the halls long after the courthouse was closed for the night. The local townspeople, though proud of their landmark, would often speak in hushed tones of the judge, a ghostly presence that many believed to be the tormented spirit of a once respected judge, brutally murdered within the courthouse walls. A judge's final verdict. The story begins decades ago. During a particularly cold winter in the early 1900s, Judge Samuel Harding was presiding over a high-profile case involving a ruthless gang that had terrorized the nearby settlements for years. Harding, known for his no-nonsense demeanor and unwavering commitment to justice, was determined to see the gang's leader, Silas, the Butcher, Kane, locked away for life. As tensions rose in the courtroom, threats began to pour in, anonymous letters left on the judge's desk, sinister warnings carved into the courthouse walls, and even a dead crow placed ominously on the courthouse steps. But Judge Harding, resolute in his duty, paid them no mind. Then, on one fateful night, everything changed. The courthouse was silent, shrouded in darkness as the cold wind howled through the streets of Marfa. Judge Harding was working late in his chambers, reviewing the final evidence before the verdict was to be delivered the next day. The only light came from a dim oil lamp on his desk, casting long shadows across the room. It was then that the heavy oak door to his office creaked open. Expecting it to be his clerk, Harding didn't look up, but there was no greeting, no sound of footsteps. When he finally glanced up, the figure standing in the doorway was not someone he recognized. Dressed in a dark coat and wide-brimmed hat, the man's face was obscured by the low light. Without a word, the intruder stepped forward, revealing a gleaming knife in his hand. Panic flashed across Harding's face as he scrambled to rise from his chair. But it was too late. With brutal precision, the man lunged forward, silencing the judge with a single swift motion. Blood splattered the judge's desk, staining the legal papers he had been so diligently reviewing. As Harding's lifeless body slumped over, the figure leaned in, whispering words that no one would ever hear, before slipping out into the darkness, leaving only death and a cold silence in his wake. The murder of Judge Samuel Harding sent shockwaves through Marfa. The trial was postponed indefinitely, and despite a massive manhunt, the killer was never found. The case went cold, and over time, the judge's office was sealed, becoming a place of infamy, a forbidden room that no one dared to enter. A legacy of terror. In the years that followed, strange incidents began to plague the courthouse. Guards patrolling the halls at night reported hearing the rhythmic thud of footsteps along the deserted corridors. The sound of a gavel striking wood echoed from the empty courtroom, as if an unseen judge were still presiding over phantom trials. Some claimed to hear faint whispers, a low murmur of voices locked in eternal debate. Then there were the sightings, glimpses of a shadowy figure standing at the judge's desk, staring out into the courtroom as if waiting for a verdict that would never come. One janitor, a man named Luis Ramirez, was tasked with cleaning the judge's office late one evening. As he swept the dusty floors, he heard a soft rustling sound. Looking up, he was horrified to see the large wooden chair behind the judge's desk slowly turning on its own. Frozen in fear, Luis watched as the chair spun until it faced him directly. Though the room was empty, a cold presence filled the air, and he felt a pair of unseen eyes boring into him. The janitor fled the courthouse that night and never returned, leaving his tools scattered on the floor as a chilling reminder of what he had witnessed. The townspeople began to speak of the courthouse as a place cursed by the judge's spirit, an entity consumed by rage and sorrow. Forever trapped within the walls of his final judgment, some believed that Harding's soul would never rest until his killer was brought to justice, while others whispered that the judge was exacting his own brand of spectral vengeance on those who dared enter his domain. A guard's terrifying encounter. It was in the 1970s when the most harrowing encounter took place. A young security guard named Michael Anderson was assigned to patrol the courthouse during a string of break-ins in the area. Michael, skeptical of the ghost stories, scoffed at his colleagues' warnings about the judge's ghost. Determined to prove them wrong, he took the night shift alone, confident that he would find nothing more than creaky floorboards and the occasional rodent. But as the hours dragged on, Michael began to feel uneasy. The air grew colder, and a heavy silence settled over the courthouse. At around midnight, as he was making his rounds near the judge's office, his flashlight flickered. Cursing under his breath, he shook it, trying to get it to work. Suddenly, the light went out completely, plunging him into darkness. That's when he heard it, low, raspy chuckle coming from inside the sealed judge's office. Michael's heart raced as he fumbled for his backup flashlight. The laughter grew louder, more menacing, echoing through the empty halls. Swallowing his fear, he mustered his courage and stepped towards the door. With a trembling hand, he pushed it open. The scene that greeted him was like something out of a nightmare. The room was lit by an otherworldly glow, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The judge's desk, untouched for decades, was covered in dust except for one spot, a large stain of dried blood. And sitting in the judge's chair was a figure cloaked in shadow. Its form twisted and unnatural. The chair slowly turned, and as it did, Michael saw the hollow, glowing eyes of the judge's ghost staring back at him. Before Michael could react, the figure leaned forward, raising one skeletal hand to point directly at him. A deep, guttural voice filled the room. Guilty. The word reverberated through the air, shaking Michael to his core. He stumbled back, his flashlight slipping from his grip. In a blind panic, he turned and ran, the laughter of the judge following him as he fled the courthouse. Never to return. The curse lives on. Today, the old Presidio County Courthouse stands as both a historical landmark and a place of fear. Though it no longer serves as the seat of justice, its dark past continues to haunt its halls. Tourists and ghost hunters visit, hoping to catch a glimpse of the infamous judge's ghost, but most leave with only a sense of unease and the stories of those who dared to enter. Some say that Judge Harding still waits, bound to the courthouse by the violent end he met. His presence lingers, a restless spirit forever seeking justice in a world that has long since moved on. And perhaps, until his murderer is found or his death avenged, the judge will continue to hold court in the shadows, his verdict echoing through time. Guilty. The mysterious and strange stories from Texas certainly leave us with more questions than answers. Are these legends simply the product of imagination, or do they reflect a reality that we have yet to unravel? Whatever the truth may be, we can't deny the eerie fascination that these stories bring. If you want to hear more spine-chilling tales like these, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any new videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe in these legends? Or are you a skeptic? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.